side, we everywhere. Yesterday we was in Venice Beach, y'all. I'm gonna post some of them videos. I got a lot of content, cool shit. Um, it actually was a car show yesterday, so that was pretty cool. We ain't even know, one in a million, man. We go out there, you see 1957, 55 Chevys, all type of vehicles, man. Great, great, great look yesterday, man. We had a fun time, and yeah, man. Let me just tell you, after yesterday's trolling, man, motherfucker ate that shit and went drove his ass to Venice, baby. While y'all motherfuckers was arguing still probably or still thinking about Zay Dollar, Zay Dollar was out of here, chilling, man. And I'm outside, man. So if we bump, we bump. You already holla at your boy, man. Zay Dollar, random. Yo, RIP. I'm gonna say it again, man. RIP Chuck Norris, man. He was one of them guys, man. RIP to the Chuck. RIP to the Chuck, boy. But yeah, folk, I hope everybody doing good, man. What's up, everybody? What up? Y'all good? Where my peoples at, man? Where the fan band at, man? You can't detour fuck like you can't detour old head. What up, Nene? What up, mom? How you? Hi, Nene. What's up, Nene? Hope you doing good, ma. Um, yeah. I don't know what the weather like over there, but it was alright yesterday, man. We went to Venice Beach, Nene, and had a great time. Random. Here's a secret, y'all. If you don't got the money to go to Venice Beach, if you can't, the flight, driving, whatever, right? If you already have a PS4 or PS5, just put on Grand Theft Auto 5 because that shit is exactly like, yo, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be 70 is good. Today's gonna get hot, but yeah, Nene, I have fun. Like I said, it was exactly like Grand Theft Auto. And another beautiful thing is the artistry, right? There's a lot of artists out there. So you're going down the strip and you got people, yo, on guard. One of the coolest things I seen, vinyl, old school vinyl. Here's a perfect example. Let's say the vinyl is Doors or Wu-Tang, right? Somehow, I don't know how they did it, 3D printing machine or something. They take the vinyl, like they break it, meaning like so the Wu Tang one, it was in the shape of a W. Remember, this is a vinyl. They broke it and it looks like a W, and it had all nine of the fucking members. So for instance, let's say you wanted to buy they had a lot of old school shit, like the Beatles, right? You look at the Beatles and they had all the Beatles, but it was a record, you know what I mean? It said the Beatles, it looked like it was like the artistry was fire, you know what I mean? I dug it a lot. And they had a lot of cool shit going on, man. A lot of cool stuff in Venice, man. The pricing was a little off, but it is what it is. But yeah, man, we had a great time. It took us about almost, I think it was like a 2.5, 3, you know, depending on the traffic and everything. But we went out there. I'm gonna post some of the content, some of the cool videos. You know how I do. But yeah, man, it was a fun time. I'd never been to Venice Beach, first time, and exactly what it is. The girls rollerblading with dogs, fucking, bicyclists and chaos, but you know, no violence. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I always like is like no matter how many people, if there's a group of people that aren't on that time, and it was during the day, so you know what I mean, the wolves come out at night. So but yeah, Nene, it was fun as hell, man. I had fun, and yeah, we went there. It was me, her, and two other people. We had a great time. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely do that. Yesterday, by the time we got home from driving, and another thing, what the hell, man? Driving is like a job, man. As soon as I was done driving, man, my body went bloop. That 44 hit the kid for real, man. And I think another thing is like my body is used to waking up at like 6:37. So I'm up already, right? So by the time it's like 3 o'clock, I already was 10 hours, you know what I mean? And then three is not that, three is three, but yeah, great time. But what up, everybody? Hope everybody doing good in life. Continue your positive nature and stay focused, man. This world is trying to trick us, man. I seen videos, man. They talking about Iran got missiles that can reach Europe. And if you don't know, Europe has a lot of historical landmarks. We don't need no bombing. And that's another thing people don't understand. Like, for instance, when it was the Egyptian Spring, they raided a lot of museums and took a lot of stuff that ended up on the black market. But destruction is a motherfucker, man, burning things down and acting crazy. But, crazy comes, crazy leaves, man. And it usually leaves with things that, historically meant something, man. We literally are destroying. That's why I'm like, I want us to revolt, but then I don't, because you got a group of people that don't mind destroying, don't mind burning, don't mind, they don't have an attachment to the history like I think we should all have. You know what I mean? But imagine Europe, man. You got, the clock, that gorgeous bridge that took forever to build. Just the various churches they got that were there from 16 1500s. They got the Michelangelo, right? The 16th. Is not, I thought it was the 16th, but it was like it's the 16th, something like that, the chapel. But wow, man. Yo, what up, sweetheart? How you doing, sweetheart? I hope everything good. This is definitely a new day. You know what I mean? But yeah, we chilling, we chilling. I appreciate you ladies as usual. I hope you guys are having a blessed day wherever you are, however the weather's weathering. You know what I mean? The weather is bipolar, so I'm gonna get used to this Cali weather. But yeah, man, went to Venice Beach, random, great time, great time. Worked my double. Thank you for asking. God damn, them days I can't. I don't wish that on nobody, yo. Let me tell you, 17 to about 27, right? 10 years, 18, right? Paralegal. But what I would do was I would work. I was a paralegal from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Sundays I worked night court from 5:30 to 1 in the morning. So I was missing parties, but that's where you lose that FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. You realize that money. My mom's kicked me out at 14, so I had to get my own crib and a lot of shit early. You know what I mean? So when a lot of people were playing, living life, and college, bugging out, Zay Dollar was grinding his asshole. You know what I'm saying? But you know, work is work, man. And another thing is, this is my 6 month. I'm from New York to over here. If you don't know, ageism is real. Once they see 1982 on that paper, I don't think they really, you know what I mean? Because they know 82 baby hopefully means that you worked enough gigs that your demand for money is different, right? So, you know, I don't want to work for peanuts. Like, first of all, that's what the whole game was, right? You worked. So by the time you do get another gig or you stay in that gig, they help, you benefit from it. But now I don't think you benefit from experience like they claim, man. And they wish washing it anyway. 1 minute is colleges, we need your degrees. Then the next minute is degrees are worthless. Then the next minute is we want degrees again. It's like they try to weed out certain demographics accordingly, but it's not working because a lot more people went to college. Yeah, they didn't bank on that. I don't think they banked on, like, a lot of kids after my generation or my generation went to school, went to college. You know what I mean? I did. I was working and in college, but you know, not all of us got the funds and shit. You know what I'm saying? Stay consistent, girl. You know, I love, you know, allowing people. What up, Uriah? How you doing? But yeah, man, I think Nene knows. In our day, by 14, 15, you were working towards. They used to call it drum roll, working papers. It was this pink slip or yellow, whatever, wherever green. It could have been different, right? Wherever you were, but you got this little paper that said that you handed your boss or employer, like, hey, look, I'm 16 and I'm willing and able to work. So one of my first gigs was stock boy. I think that's how it went. It was like you worked at a stock boy, maybe in a video store, because yes, we used to have video stores, which was to me one of the coolest gigs if you like movies. So we used to kind of hate on people that worked in video stores because they got paid well, and all they did was just imagine it. Like you walk in, hey, what movie should I rent? I like, and whatever. I think that it was some we had so many coolest gigs back then. You know what I mean? What's up, sweetheart? You're blessed and a hard worker. That's a fact. Stay working, man. Stay working. You can't work yourself out of this one. You know what I'm saying? I was just grateful that Blockbuster. Yo, then I'm lying. Niggas used to work at Blockbuster with your friends, and it was fun. Like yo, jobs used to be fun. Cause two things. Uh, um you might have had a boss, but a lot of gigs, I don't like gigs where the boss is there, right? Or hanging over you. That's why after construction, paralegal, office work, even washing windows, various gigs I had, I went into the restaurant industry because a lot of times the restaurant industry don't have somebody over you. So let's say I'm in the kitchen doing dishes. I don't have somebody over me. Let's say I'm waiting tables. You don't have somebody over you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. And that's another thing is finding the right boss, finding you know, I tell everybody this number one rule that I hope people listen to is, it's good to make friends, it's good to like, but don't get too much into politics, especially me. I worked in the hospital during COVID, and that was one of the evilest politics you could ever work in, meaning doctors were fucking nurses, nurses were fucking janitors, and motherfuckers was married, and you're like, I just got there and shorty like, yo, that chick is married and she's smashing the janitor who a young cute YN, but you're like diabolicalness. God damn, everybody fucking like sweetheart, right? Like you're like everybody fucking like, and then it's one of those where everybody. 1 minute you're like, oh shit, they together. That's cute, right? They coming to work together because you know what I'm saying. And then boom, when they break up, it's like, oh, she's messed like, woo, yo, sweetheart. For I'm not lying. And yo, at the time, look, whenever Zay's in a relationship, I strive to be faithful, regardless of what my partner's doing. I make sure that I don't ever have a female coming back 5, 10, 20 years like, yo, this nigga was a dirtbag type shit. You know what I mean? And I think cheating is like a premier, besides hitting, cheating and hitting and, lack of security support is a big one. So of course, in the earlier years, when you're 20, 30, they giving you paper like whoa, right? So, back then, $100 you could on a Good Friday, you could go see the movies. In fact, I would do dinner, then movies, then had enough to take a cab to the crib and still had a 20 ball in the pocket. You know what I mean? Like, so 100 went a long way back in the days. I could just imagine taking somebody out now. I seen, various videos where women are like, you need a I'm a $50,000 girl, man, monthly. And I'm like, damn, nigga. If a man is making 50,000 extra that he could and he's gonna simp, no, man. Put that 50 in the bank or put it towards stack your bread, man. I never wanted to work in a hospital. Home care was better. More money, no drama, nene. I said that, yep, I'm reading you girls. I'm reading it. I catch it and feel so bad for the other person, their heart going to break. And sweetheart, I'm not lying, right? Like it really those dynamics, shout out to you for doing working, you know what I'm saying? Uh, the human conditioning tends to make people compete, but I want this channel to be like, you're at a second home, meaning like you thugged it out at work, and you don't need somebody hounding you, right? You just want to come home, relax, shower, eat your food, and get ready for another hard day. But I appreciate you and continue working hard, man. Shout out to my wife. Yo, she used to do triples, man. Wake up at 6 a.m., work from 7 all the way to 7 8. Like I'm like, wow. But sometimes, I noticed that too in LA. A lot of women are working more than men. And I don't know what that is. If First of all, I'm gonna be honest. There was a thing about hiring women as secretaries or in businesses where you wanted that people to come, right? So people came. Oh, look at this cute girl. They're gonna come more and more. But now I just think it's a survival thing. There's a lot of people, male, females, looking for work. So first come, first serve. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, when women have gigs, they tend not to play, meaning they're there early and they clock out at the right time. You know what I mean? And they tend to do overtimes when needed, right? But yeah, shout out to females, man. Continuing to make this hamster wheel go round and round, man, because we need workers. That's what pays for our social, man. Me and Nene, we about to hit that line, man. We gonna need workers, right? It's sad to say, man. We gonna need people putting in the taxes and 14 hours but get paid for 16. Why is yo? I wish my wife was here. She would be like, yo, isn't that diabolical, sweetheart? That is medical jobs are the best. I started at 17 as a home health aide, then became a hospice nurse and owned a limousine. God damn, Nanny. Shout out to you, mommy. Shout out to you. You know what I mean? And I think making the right decision at a young age is one of the most profound things you could do. And a lot of us, it's almost like when I say the game is rigged, regardless of how you do things, it always sometimes end up on the low end. But I just want everybody to keep pushing, keep I say thugging it out because that's what it is. It's like you're thugging it out, man. You're trying not to break, right? Like I'ma strangle this motherfucker. How am I doing, you know, a whole day and only getting paid for I don't like how businesses can get away with murder. Literal murder. A business would rather shut down than pay their employees more, especially franchises, knowing that they get their money in, right? I don't like that, man. I'm Michael from Israel. What's up, Michael? Thank you for rocking with me, man. I appreciate you, Michael. Have a great day, Mike. Because I don't take my 4 time 15 breaks. Yes, sweetheart. And take my dinner 1 hour. So I take money because I have two little boys, man. Their rent is expensive and food. And let's congratulate sweetheart because what's going on? Interesting. Yeah, Mike. By the way, we have real discussions on this channel. We're trying to figure out solutions and try to make people feel good to continue the rest of this thing we call life, right? But yo, sweetheart, shout out to you. And it's weird, isn't it? I'm gonna say this. Nene knows. You make $1 over, now they won't help you with EBT. You make 50 cents over, now you can't get help with this financial program. Make it make sense. And then it's people like her, like sweetheart, that really need the help, that actually wants to work and do that. Just help me a little bit. But then you got sloppy, lazy motherfuckers that will just sit on their ass, collect the check, collect cash assists, collect all of this, and never want to work a day in their life, man. And you thinking you paying $35, $100 rent, you didn't stack. So last year when Trump was trying to do the EBT, you ain't stacked bread. You should have hundreds of thousands if your life was like that. And some of these people been on it for 10, 15, 20 years, man. If you do the math, even if you put $5 away a day, you should have a nice bucket of cash, man. But they don't do the right thing, man. They don't do the right thing, man. I don't think there's something wrong with it. I think it's when people think that that's how life is, right, Michael? I think that's the trick. I think the trick is where when they try to pull the EBT, you saw videos of women like or men, yo, you gotta pay my shit, man. I had kids. You taxpay is the taxpayer's job. I heard all the time. That's what's up, man. Come through, hurry up. I'm here, man. And yo, Nene, if you don't know, yesterday I wish you were in the building because I had a lot of guys like Jay that were just antagonizing, trolling, thinking they're tough. And yeah, I don't think they got my channel. I think they see, the chain, the glasses, and the look, and they automatically think, oh, he's on some gangster. Like, look, but it is what it is. That's a fact. That's a fact. You know? Yes, Michael. Yes, Michael. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. You know, and I wanna suffice or I wanna talk on that because my shades back. Look, I want to talk on that. I'm good, right, y'all? But I want to just mention that I think information is everything, man. Because I think if a lot of people were informed on how to invest or how to maneuver their money, I think people might have done the right thing. You know what I mean? But there was a lot of information being held in the 80s and 90s towards certain demographics that allowed a certain crew to always be on the echelon of the rich tier, right? So, you were on yesterday. Yes, I was. Anytime, sweetheart, you're the baby in our family here. That's a factory. That's a fact. And we're here to take care and make sure, and you know what I mean, on a positive level that you're doing good, you know. But Michael, you're right, Mike. You're definitely right. Thank you for coming in, man, because we like a lot of people like you guys. We need people who are informed, who have information to give others, and maybe a different thought provoking way of thinking, right? Just a different perspective. So it's a beautiful thing. Thank you guys. Here's some hearts. You know what I mean? But yeah, yesterday was a troll factor. It was troll haven, right? And I know it was a Saturday, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, you know what I mean? That's what makes it, that's what makes us, right, Nene? It makes this channel a little bit more distinguished and a little obviously different than other channels. Thank you, Nene. But random, yeah, man, we gotta do better and we gotta talk better to each other. Cause I think the lack of respect we have is it shows the lack of respect you have for yourself. Cause you don't know what some of these people are capable of. Some of these kids run their mouth and they don't know somebody's been dying for that mouth to be ran. Somebody's dying to click clack that burner and bust your head. So we seen it. One of my favorite examples is a group of friends, man. A kid blew his best friend away for fries, for French fries. Here's the example. Here's the story. Random. A group of kids went to Wingstop. One of them didn't have the paper. And I always tell you, whenever you're around somebody that's about to eat and you don't have money, unless they're gonna help or say, "Yo, please get away," because we don't need you. This ain't high school where you can ask for a fry off the plate, man. You know, you get to a certain age where you got to fend for yourself. So long story short, he asked for French fries. The guy said, "No, I'm hungry." He blew his head away, man, in his house. It's like over French fries. So now you in jail over French fries, and they gave him life. So you gonna spend eternity. You gonna die there, man. Make it make sense, everybody. My family taught me when I was younger to invest and bank, and now I do banking. So guys, it's hard but makeable. Beautiful statement. Beautiful statement, Michael. You could have been like regular folk that just went on the egotistical side and said, I was younger. They taught me how to invest. In fact, I did it, right? And then they would have ended it. But you said, guys, it's hard but makeable. You're letting people know, look, man, you could try, you could do it. Let's make it happen, Captain. So I appreciate them words, man. Sweetheart, it's getting scary. Because when you don't have self-respect, you have nothing to live for. You're what's that? It's scary when you mess with people that yeah, like I said, they don't have nothing to live for, they a lost soul. So it's very easy for them to throw everything away because they have nothing to hold on to. That's why I always tell people to have kids, man. Kids, yeah, they financially it might burden you some like, but what it does is it changes you into a person very quickly. You man up, you woman up, you know. I always admit, man, men, it take a long time for us to mature, man. I still am a kid in my heart, I still play, I'm goofy sometimes, but you know, thank you. It's been really hard, but the little boy's eyes are big and loving. You see what I mean? And you're gonna get to that point where when you're older, God bless them, they take care of you. And you, like I say, life is, is what you make. Life is something that if you put enough positivity in, you will reap the rewards, and not on some shit like that. Like, but good things come. Um, but yeah, man, it's been really hard. But the little boy's eyes are big. Yeah, that's beautiful, man. But I'm forced banking, by the way, it's family work and traditional. Well, I'm glad you're in that industry, Michael, because yeah, man, because you're in an industry where you're working with money and you're understanding respect for money. You know what I'm saying? It comes out different. But hold on 2 seconds. Hold on, y'all, because my mom's just calling me. Babe, can you with the other phone text my mom? You claimed me this year. You didn't claim me last year, right? You claimed me for this year. No, why 25? I wasn't around 25. So tell my mom that. I told you. Of course she was on 25 when I was with her. You were claimed for like my bad, yeah. Um, it was just something about claiming taxes and all this stuff. You know, that's one thing that that's a perfect segue, man. Random. Yo, out of all industries, they work really hard at the IRS, don't they, right? They'll fumble your food, they'll sell you things that are killing you. If you'll buy a car that's a lemon, they don't care. You know what I mean? There's no rules, no laws. But as soon as they want their money, as soon as you play with theirs, and I'm not playing, it's just, last year I worked and whatever. My mom was like, "Yo, I'm gonna put you on my joint." You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, "Fine." But I don't know, man. It's just a wow. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much extra people make off of that, but yeah, man. It's wild, man. I just like I always never played with the IRS. That's why I kind of thank you, Nene. It really is, right? The demon, yo, the devil working overtime, man. And like I said, man, the IRS, they wow, man. I was 18 years old and they audited me because I worked in Staten Island as a paralegal, and then a business in Brooklyn. Like I almost got drafted. They were like, "Look, we'll give you some paper." They gave me like a $5,000 check and told me to come aboard, and I signed, and I worked for them for like almost 10 years. But I don't know. You're 17, 18. I didn't know to claim that 5 bands, so whatever. I got audited, and I had to pay some of that money back, which I did. Oh, my shit is Gucci, thank God. My stepfather, my father, and my mother were on top of me with that because the IRS, they sick. They'll print all this money. Like, why pay anything when the government prints the money was a huge discussion. Think about it. It makes no sense. It doesn't. What's going on, owner? Dal. That's all I know. And I think that's Russian. Dal. What's going on, Kazo? But guys, to clarify, although I work in banking, I'll tell you that bank is a scam. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for that one. I appreciate the honesty. But Nene, what a fucking scam we're living in. And other countries don't do what we're doing, right, guys? You'll go somewhere and they go, "Oh, we don't do tipping. We don't pay for housing tax. When I the house, that's your house. That's your property. We don't we don't do all these like our government literally figured out ways to scam our money out of us. And if you don't abide by it, they will throw you in jail, which is a sucker move, or force you to pay for an attorney to fight for the shit. Fight for something that common sense says what's going on, man. You know what I mean? So it's just wow, man, that like we're at this like they lost a 50,000 check for that was it, Nene. They still haven't, yo, and Nene, how it go, girl? You owe them money, how quick they trying to take your money, right? But when they owe you or messed up something, it take years. it would take you years to get back your money. And they'll try to work out plans where they give you a percentage of the shit. Fuck, I don't like it, man. Oh eight, oh nine, when the housing market, oh nine, oh 10, when the housing market collapsed, yo, there's a rule that if you what percentage of the people like not even percentage, but there's a percentage of money that they're allowed to pay you back. So for instance, you put 60K in the bank, right? You letting it sit, you're not bothering the bank, they're not bothering you. But as soon as the moment the bank foreclosed or some shit happened, the bank goes, we could only give you back maybe 40 of that 100, 50, 60 of that. Wait, where did the other money go? Where? You know, a bank back in the days was a contract between first. So first of all, a banking started back in the days when gold was around, right? And the bank was basically they gave you a note saying, "Look, you put this amount of gold in here, and we promise to give this same amount back," right? It was a contractual, a paper thing that allowed you to place your money because a lot of traveling people would get robbed, and it was like the Wild Wild West, right? Michael, yo, God bless you, bro. And I got, you know what I mean. Stay you, man. I appreciate you. But facts, man. Beautiful thing, man. It's like, and when I saw Zeitgeist, right? There was this movie called Zeitgeist. It it was big on what's going on, Jason. I appreciate you. Yeah, Jason, have fun at the zoo, man. Have a great one. Lions, tigers, bear, oh my. Lions, tigers, bear, oh my. Shout out to the Wizard of Oz, man. But yeah, have fun, Jason. Have a great day, and I appreciate your time and your support always. I dig you. I dig you, GK Rebs. What's up, GK? Welcome back. I hope you have a great day too, GK. I retired at 44. No more chasing that. Hey, God bless you, girl. Woo! It's wild, right? Like the time you put in, it seemed like it was never going to stop, right? And now they trying to drag you back in, Nene. You put in your time, you put in the work. First of all, a lot of folk don't understand. In my day, you could have joined the service or the police academy, and they said in 25, you retire at 40, 45, 50, right? Now they trying to hold on to us till fucking 67, 70, 80. I don't like it, y'all. And then they break your balls over IRS things or stupidness, Even if retire, y'all, you own something, you still earn. Yup. That's a fact, Michaels. Keep that pendulum, keep that money going, man. And I don't like that the world is based like that, but it is, right? Like you can't tell somebody just to be happy. I can't. I gotta tell them, try to figure out a gig that makes you happy enough that you could, literally deal with it. That's all. Is really dealing with whatever wherever you're working at, and going in, clocking in, and clocking out, man. Because once you get involved with the politics of work, it's easier to lose it. I learned that, many times watching coworkers, kiss the boss's ass, and then when shit wasn't rocking, the boss was like, "You out of here." It's like I thought y'all were mans in them. What happened to that one? Nene, congratulations, girl. My cousin retired from the police force at 40. You see what I mean? Not lying, sweetheart. Thank you for that one. She now chilling with good money and have a long time to enjoy retirement. And that's a beautiful thing. It was getting to that point where you're able to chill, you're able to retire and not retire on some EBT and leeching and all that shit, but retire on your demands, on your you know what I'm saying? But that's why our generation was pumped. They told us, look, you put in service, you put in your work. Yo, I got resumes. I've been working since 15, 14, man, to 43, 42. Like, it's really wild, man. But that's this. I knew that was just work, right? Like that's how we saw it. It was like this is what we have to do. We didn't complain. We didn't talk about, we didn't come in late. We didn't do dumb stuff. We just worked. So did my father. He did at 50 from the state police. Shout out to Nene, man. And having a dad, structure, foundation allowed this beautiful woman to, you know, handle hers, And I'm not saying, parents, they influence enough. But let's give Nene her credit too. The way she maneuvered through life, right? It's the way you maneuver, everybody. Invite into the eyelashes, doing my nails every week, and da. Nope, she busted her ass, had a limousine company, tried to help out her friends, and met an amazing man that right now they're at the stage of building and breathing, the double B's, baby. Yes, or at 70 poor elderly people working at McDonald's to pay medical is very sad. It is. And then they tricked you, meaning like, yo, eat what you want, right? They give you the free will to do whatever the fuck you want. But then when shit hits the fan, they're like, well, we also told you that eating too many donuts was gonna kill you, right? It's like, damn, nigga. So why is there Dunkin' Donuts on every corner? Stop teasing me then. Cock tease. We are just bodies. That's a fact, JQ. What's going on, JQ? Thank you for rocking with me. It's $8, $8. This channel's called Random. Sub. If you sub to me, I'll sub to you. But yeah, appreciate. Sad when your own country treats you like that, sweetheart. That's a fact, JQ. I know. No, but it's the illusion. It's the illusion, JQ. I already know what it is, but it's the illusion people think that they have, right? Thank you, Nene. I appreciate you. What's going on, JQ? One of them ones, man. Thank you for rocking with me, man. 3916. Stay blessed, man. Everybody, welcome JQ. One of them ones, man. Cool people, man. And I love and I like meeting people from various walks of life, man. It's a great thing, man. But you right, Jay. You know what I'm saying? That free will, we think we have it, right? They literally know what you gonna do before you do it now. It really is like Minority Report. They have so much data on you that they know what you're gonna buy next week, what you're gonna eat. Why you think you go in 1 minute and your favorite cookie that nobody bought buys, right? Is $2. You go back next week, they saw you bought 10 of them. Now the shit is $4. Is that data? They just watching you, and then they're gonna squeeze you, and you just have to have the discipline to not, you know, buy into certain things. 1 week if Coca-Cola is cheap, Coke. Next week Pepsi, I'll go Pepsi. I ain't going. You know what I mean? I ain't going sugarcoat data. That's the least. I know it is, but there's enough that's being recorded that, like I say, man, you know I got a video that's called this, about surveillance and how much surveillance is on us now. You go into a store and the shit literally will take your face, boop boop boop. A lot of folk don't know that, but it's just recording. I'm on the road. Yeah, let's go, Jay. Yo, have a great one, man. Enjoy the zoo, man. Ain't nothing like a zoo, man. Animals, like I say, they can't talk, so it's up to humans to treat them, well. I'm lagging, Jay. I'm sorry for that, man. Sorry, man. Watch my replay if anything, man. It's sad. Hospice can't wait for the elderly. Yeah, and that's all they doing. They taking their homes and they tricked everybody. So the old couple, right? They're like, I need to get this bread because everything is expensive. So they charge 700, 800,000 when they paid 100K for the crib, right? That's the trick. So who can afford that? Corporations. A corporation will buy that shit for 650. I promise you. Because like you said, they print their money anyway. And it's really sad because there's a lot of us in our 40s or 30s or 50s playing with life thinking, oh, I'm good. Wait till and then they always look at the old people, right? Oh, why you need Pampers? Why you need a cane? Nigga, that happens, man. Especially if you destroy your body the way they trick people into, yo, everybody go jogging. Jogging is healthy, right? I think everything in moderation, man, because I have people that jog every day, do marathons, and let me tell you, once a month they got to drain water out their knees. Once like they already had shoulder and knee surgeries. It's like I thought jogging was healthy. What the fuck? Seems to me you got tricked. Everything in moderation, man. Ooh, sorry to hear that, Mike. 87, man. And I don't like he was young or nah, man. Yo, and in life, man. Yo, first of all, back then they were seeing 300, and I believe it. I just think that, stress is a killer. I think I get yelled by the floor nurse because I tell them Rita been in a diaper for hours. What's wrong? Yep, I was a behavioral specialist. So, yep, I was helping, the nurses. Sometimes I was in an area where people banged their heads, so they were bugged out, right? Some of them were just like docile, and some of them were just, wild, right? So, a behavior specialist, I was there on the floor to make sure that none of the nurses got hurt, right? I was there. So at 7 a.m., hey, everybody, I would take the guys that couldn't walk, I would grab them, wheel them into the line, and then they would take their daily meds, right? In the morning, right? Everybody got the morning meds, maybe afternoon, and then nighty night they give them some meds, right? And then I would escort them to the lunchroom and various things. But I was very humane, you know what I mean? I hate seeing videos where you see these guys beating up old ladies or doing SA with them. It's like, what's going on with this world? That's your grandmas. Why can't people see things like that? Like if I see a girl, she 14, that I'm looking at her like that's my sister, man. There's no sexual tension there, man. Everybody has this tension going on, man. Wait, let me hold on. Yep, I got you. My business. I say no. If it was grandmother, you would flip. That's a fact. That's a fact. For example, we used to build house ourselves. Yes, houses that fit your necessities of your whole family. Try now, JQ. You landed, baby. Sorry, Michael. Mine just died at 94, man. God bless, man. God bless those that were here and were special to us. You know what I mean? RIP. I'm a patient care technician, so my heart breaks all the time, sweetheart. And if you and I always say there's certain people that find their jobs, right? Because like but it's a wild place because people don't understand. You build relationships with the patients. You're there every day. You're there more than the family. I was there sometimes more than the family will come, right? So you build this relationship with the guy, and then when COVID hit, I got COVID. I came back after a month. It knocked me down. And word the mother, I seen they put X like tape on doors. I'm like, oh, what's that mean? They're like, don't go in there. That person died, and we don't know. In the beginning of first of all, they called it it wasn't COVID. They called it a corona. It was called the coronavirus off of the beer. And in the beginning, if y'all know the beginning of Corona, man, people ain't know if it was airborne, disborn, niggas was spraying, masked up, dudes was in fucking scuba gear going to Walmart. It was a wild time, right? But just like my wife, and then they said, man, that was meant for the elderly, man. They were trying to take out a certain demographic, man. Be careful, everybody. Love those that are aging because once they're gone, they're really gone. A lot of folk think that, there's a to be continue. And who knows, who knows if you wake up and you got a fucking VR helmet and you're like, whoa, that was wild. Yeah, you were there for 10 minutes, nigga. How was it? Damn, nigga, I lived to 80. But sub Zay, what's up, JQ? Yep, I'm catching up, man. My job is to let me see. But they teach us not to get close with them. See, you're right, Nene. Corona, yeah, Michael, thank you, thank you. That coronavirus shot killed a lot of these youngsters too, man. Yes, it did. Yo, you know what was scary? You would literally go and like at a bus stop. You know the bus stops where they had the little thing and people could sit, wait for the bus. Yo, people were dying there. No, nobody knew how disastrous this shit was. It knocked you over. Yo, when I caught it, my energy level was depleted every day. I would felt like I would sleep but wake up tired. Couldn't couldn't smell. Like it was bad, man. What a weird one, man. And that shit made its way from over there, the Eastern Hemisphere. What the hell? Like, whatever, man. I don't like to touch too much on it because you never know how capable or how governments truly work, right? Because obviously they don't work in our favor. You guys had so many years. First of all, there's a few things random I don't like. I don't like the presidency thing. I don't like every 4 years we got somebody, and we have different parties. So you could hire a Democrat 4 years and a Republican 4 years, both having different different ways of rebuilding. So you might have a guy do 4 years and then another guy do 4 years to clean his shit up or mess it up. Let me tell you, one of the best presidents that they always keep trying to get on is Bill Clinton. When I lived during Bill Clinton's years, I think he did 2 terms, one of the best times on earth. Budget, he did a lot. I know he did what he did, man, but he money was good. Your dollar was strong. I'll tell you that one. I've been around too long to know it was BS. They were trying to force me to take this shot, but I didn't. Yo, Nene, I had to take it because of the. Remember, they were like, "Yo, you want to work?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yo, how they? I thought we could choose." They literally told people you could lose your job if you didn't take this shot, man. And then find out some of us did it 3 times. There was one for another one. Like it's like what? And if you don't know, you know that whenever they create antibodies for a certain disease, a certain whatever, right? A flu, a virus, yo, it has to go through testing, which takes many years. They developed this Pfizer, Johnson and Johnson, and whatever other one, and it's almost like Puma, Adidas, Nike. Like what? There should only be one. They had various ones that the hood was getting Johnson and Johnson, man. I caught the Pfizer. Who knows what was going on? Kennedy was the best in my opinion. Thank you, Michael. I think you're right, man. Me too. I would lost my job. Damn, sweet, right? You would have lost the job, and we didn't want to do it. How come I can't say no anymore? How come I can't go? I don't want to do this, and you guys force us. You can't really, man. And then you got men or women that are like, I'm not gonna pay my taxes. I'm not gonna do this. Yo, they, they locked up Wesley Snipes, man. We don't care. The bottom line is the bottom dollar. And when I heard that, I already knew that this is a capitalistic country, and everything revolves around what you can offer. And once you're useless, get out of here. 5 years of testing, but they gave us shots after 5 months. Last there. Let's go, JQ. You one of them ones, man. I appreciate you. Time and energy, man. Thank you, Nene. Thank you, sweetheart. Thanks, wife. I love y'all. Because I don't want to be homeless. Rest to be paid facts, right? Like you can't even be like, yo, I don't want to do this, man. Nope. What's the flip? Pick going in the garbage can, living in a tent. I'm sorry, man. And then they're gonna normalize that shit. They normalizing sleeping in your cars and tenting and RVs. Why? When there's 14 million empty homes, about a million homeless, but 14 million empty homes. What's going on with us? Why is greed everything? Michael, damn, man, we gotta link up, Mike. You sound like you got a strong fan band, man. Let me see what JQ, man. Yup, JQ hitting them because I don't. Yup, my kids couldn't go to school without vaccinating, but now they don't get because of folks crying. Yo, isn't that weird? And yo, a lot of a lot of when you were a kid, but now, yo, if you want a kid to go to school, you got to make sure they have this many vaccinations, right? And if you're one of those parents that's like, you know, low key, you like off the grid, Amish or whatever your faith, your belief system, you can't do most of them or all or none, right? You don't want to do none. Back in the days, they gave you maybe a few shingles, something, something, but they allowed you to get chicken pox to build your immune system. They allowed you to get sick or go play outside the dirt so you could build your immune system. If you're in the crib all day, you ain't building nothing. And they did that to us. They had us in the crib, COVID. Everybody was locked down, right? So you wasn't. A lot of us didn't have land and a balcony or whatever. Like, and then the way they scared people, people not trying to leave the crib. You know why Uber Eats remained banking after that? Because people really dead ass didn't want to leave the crib. I knew people that wore that mask till last year. What up, Jason? Making that troop to the zoo. I hope you have a good one, man. There's 2,400 in Israel and 400,000 plus here. How does that make sense, Nene? How? The richest country where? We brag and this ego, the way Trump talks and all these people, how they talk is so slick and ballery, but don't do nothing for humanity. Elon rather wastes billions sending rockets to space than building some cribs. That don't bug y'all? They rather build robots and data centers that are sucking up electricity, the water, all type of shit. And I'm lost for words, ladies and gentlemen. I'm lost for words, man. Random, man. I think Lamar won again. Yo, shout out to the Hornets doing their thing. Lang, 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 lang. Look at that beautiful view, y'all. Cloud work, right? Clouds look dope today. Let me see. Let me see. Exactly, girl. That shot that gave me son is five. So scary what they are pumping this little one with. Exactly. I live in Israel. Shout out to Michael once again, man. I hope you safe though. You know, that's real spill right there. I hope you really are safe. Real talk. My kids couldn't go to school. I got you. The important thing is to do what makes them more money. Yep. That's the bottom line of the bottom dollar while saving face in front of the rest of the people. Wow, JQ, talking that real, man. I like my audience, man. I really dig it, man. Too much being in the medical field. I'm sure you're seeing BS as well. The last 6 years, you've been, yo, remember, like, not even remember, but once again, back in the day, you were a doctor or nurse, you was just in that field. Now you literally are susceptible to gaining some of these things, man. That's scary. Yo, in 5 years, every nurse is probably gonna be in a hazmat suit. Hello. Well, not even. They'll replace us with robots, right? My name is T3400. Do you need any? Like, what? Get out of here, man. I need a human touch. You breaking my arm. You breaking my arm, man. I gotta stop by the bank. That's what's up, Jason. Don't take out too much money. Nene, yes, girl. So scary. I worry about my sweet 3 and 5 year old, man. Yeah, it's a scary, like, and then all you trying to do is make sure the little ones grow into good human beings, right? And what they doing in schools, what they doing all around. Yo, I remember when a parent all they had to worry about was peer pressure, meaning a group of kids that might take your kid to the bathroom to smoke a cigarette, that might take your kid to cut class, that might do wrong, right? These kids are banging with guns now, you know. It's just, and then you got to worry about TikTok and this thing and that thing. It's like, and meanwhile, they put so much pressure on the parent that I'm trying to just feed them and put, yo, three things: shelter, food, clothing, right? Those are the three things your parents are hopefully abide by, uh and uphold those in your living situation, right? As much as they can, right? In each category. But at least rent and food has to be those are guarantees, right? But damn, man, they making it so crazy. Yo, why is the norm 2, 3 jobs now? Why are you overworking my people? You're breaking people to the point of no return, man. They always say when you break this, when your mental goes, everything else goes, man. This is a systematic warfare on our brainium, man. Be careful, everybody. Stay alert, stay focused, and yeah, man. God bless and stay blessed. Let's just say. The 90s, early 2000s, they cared after that. No more care, right? It's like I don't understand. And even like I say a big one, man, teachers, man, used to go to school and I don't know if it was a purposeful thing where the teachers were over 40 or something, but they damn sure made sure teachers were, you might have had a few apples, but not all of them were drop dead, not even gorgeous. I'm saying just like, you're a 13, 14-year-old boy in class and this teacher got a BBL. What's going on here? One thing, I grew up Democrat until I found out it's a trap for blacks. Yes, it's a cycle they try to keep them in, right? Right, Nene? You know what I mean? And then a lot of folk fall into it because it is an easy way of living, and a lot of folk just don't want to deal with it, right? When you poke the bear too much, it starts poking back, and I think that's what happened with this EBT thing. And in June, if you have it, you gotta work or volunteer. A lot of folk, you know what I'm saying? Be careful. You good, Jason. You good? What up, Paul? How you doing, Paul? What's going on, Paul? I hope everything good, man. Wait, what Jason did? Oh, Jay, chill. My parents didn't trust nobody with us kids. Thank you, Nene. Wait. What Jake said. That's still the family decision as well. Yo, you remember that? Yo, yo, Jay, what's my man? JQ. That was wild, man. You know, you couldn't run amok. You couldn't, there was consequence for your behavior. You threw a ball through somebody's window. Even if the family wasn't home, somebody would have watched and told you and reported it, right? And now they want to say that's snitching. I don't understand, yo, what's going on with the rules and they mixing it so I don't know, man. Not everybody's in the street. It's not called snitching if you're doing the right thing. Terrible day. The sunset was the most beautiful, yet it was felt unbearably sad because I had to say goodbye to my grandmother at that very moment. Maybe I'll wait until night falls to release everything. Ryo, sorry to hear that, man. I hope um you continue to try to breed positive energy. I know right now it's hard to say that, but I think the best thing to do is, like you said, at night, release everything, pa. You know what I mean? And stay focused and enjoy life, man, as much as you can, pa. Thank you, Paul. I'm glad to hear you're good. What would you do if you had 10,000 to spend in on food order? In one food order. What would you do if you had 10,000 spent in one food order? I would definitely get rice, beans. You get things that, you know, is a multitude of things, right? Rice, it's one bag, but forever. And potatoes, you can make French fries, mashed potatoes, baked. I think potatoes are a cool one. The Irish, that's how the Irish survived, man. That potato, they survived off of potatoes, man. And I think that's another way. I think aren't potatoes a way to make alcohol too? Whatever. They survived, man. Potatoes were a great thing, man. Swab, thank you, Nene. Speak JQ. Yes, Jay. He needs to respect the chat. Yup. Thank you, Nene. Set boundaries and establish a precedent for me. You know what I mean? Thank you. I appreciate that. I wouldn't buy any meat unless it's from the butcher. Why? Nene, you're right, but why is meat looking weird? Some lady, look online, YouTube. A few videos are showing women and men like, yo, this meat ain't Angus beef. Yo, this is not ground meat. It's weird now. This chicken is not chickeny. What's like? And then, they used to slip and put a lot of these videos where they were growing meat and and I think that's, you know what I mean? Like, because I always see things like there's not enough cows for the burgers out here. We have a lot of burger spots, In-N-Out, Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, White Castle, even Carl Jr.'s, like various places do burgers. So where's this ground meat coming from if there's not that many cows or something like that? You know how many cows they got to kill for that shit? It's not like chickens where the chicken lays the egg and you know what I'm saying? You got to murder the cow to get some of that meat out of him, man. I don't know if I seen videos where they got chickens tied to tubes. Chicken got no head, no arms, no legs. It's just growing this like the body or some shit. I'm like, what the is this? I seen a video where these Asians poured this green liquid, mixed it in water on guard. It looked like lettuce. It was this green liquid they mixed and wrapped. They did one of these moves. This shit was like a lettuce thing. Boom. I'm like, the fuck going on, man? Figured out something. It's almost like alchemy. If you're good with chemicals, a chemical balance, a chemical ingredients, meaning as long as it tastes right, as long as it has, I don't know, man. I ain't that smart, but I think something's going on, man. Europe at least had to test and regulate farmers, methods, or animals on fields. Thank you, JQ. That's a great method too. America has no control on food. Creepy. Did you see the see-through chicken? Nope. What's going on there? You scaring me. Butchers are going, man. Yup. I wouldn't buy any meat. Yup. Good segue. Random. We talking about it, man. We talking about it over here. How about the frozen dogs found in the freezer at a Chinese joint in Atlanta? Haven't eaten in 20 years. And yo, When I knew something with Chinese food, you could get away with murder. What's going on, Jason? That's Bill Gates doing that. Yup. That's why so many people are so sick and have all these health conditions. Scary. Yup. Why you think health insurance is through the roof? Because they know they fucking killing us. Yo, word to mother. When stay cool, Jay. You good? Yo, when did stomach ailments become the new thing? My father used to have this thing called he put Alka-Seltzer, two little tablets and water, and it cleared up some of his what's that called? Acid reflux, right? Or whatever. You know what I mean? Now, I swear to God, man, the stomach is they they're not feeding us good shit. My stomach be killing me sometimes, man. And then where everywhere you go, you see more stomach you know vitamins or this that by like yo, they really doing us dirty on this side, man. And we paid. We did good for them. 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000. Like we did good. 70 years of giving them bread. This how they repay us? Okay, I see it, man. I see how y'all do. Y'all really wasn't like family, man. It's wild. Thank you, Nene. I had to get my wiggles out. It's all good, Jay. Man, everyone is allergic and diabetic now. JQ. Yo, y'all know. Yo, the most I had in class was motherfucker had asthma. Asthma. When I was taking my son to school, niggas was allergic to peanuts, peanut butter, fucking air, grass, trigger word. Like, I was like, uh-oh, this is the end over here. When the kids was too weak. Just imagine what that means for the health plan, for the doctors. Some of these doctors, all they do is give you a band-aid. They don't want to heal you. You're always back at the office. And then how they do with pills, what happens? They always got to keep giving you the higher milligram, higher, because your body gets acclimated to whatever, you know what I mean? So you went in taking 10 milligrams for your arm rash, now you on 100. And then when you don't take it, you withdrawn. Your body blow up. I don't like what they did, man. You said it, sweetheart. That's a fact. Yes, heartburn, like I'm pregnant again. Ooh, I'm definitely not. So this food is killing you slowly. Yes, Africa, they eat from the ground. Well, if needed, nobody gets sick. Nobody. Jay, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, Nene. Love the positivity today. Even with expired food, they still cool. That's weird, man. One pill for another pill, help another pill, sickos. That's exactly. Yo, take this pill for your stomach. Now I grew a tail. Take this pill for the tail. My earlobes is hanging. Take just figure it out. And why the fuck y'all figured it out in the 60s, 70s, and now y'all messing it up? Niggas dead ass are living longer and they smoke and drank. These old folks was dying at 70, 80. Like that was the real, and they drank and smoked every day, man. Meanwhile, we out of here at 60, 50 something. Yo, Black Panther, that dude was like barely 40 something. The dude from Dawson's Creek out of here. And these are all related to stomach and poop, meaning like that it was whatever that, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Yup. Sorry for typos. It's all good, Jay. We getting you, man. You landing, man. And yo, I found out something that so in New York City they got a bunch of right. They have Trader Joe's, Key Food, Met Food, right? But these motherfuckers will take food, bring it to Associated, which was like the hood store, rewrap it, and put a new expiration date on it. That's why, like, you could go to a hood store and see meat not looking like meat, and then you go to a store in a nicer neighborhood, the meat look diabolical, man, and it's cheaper. It's weird. God damn, man. Food used to be medicine. Now you take medicines because of food. I'm dead ass. Yo, yeah, that's a fact, man. Take your thing, Jay. Feel good, man. Jason, my grandfather drank corn liquor and died at 94. Shout out. Have a nice day. That's what's up, Paul. Have a nice day. Have a great one. April is coming. You already know that one. You guys ain't lying, man. Yo, the pill for the pill for the pill is I'm dying inside right now. It's scary, man. And we trying to have a light outlook on it, but really it's a diabolical way of doing us, man. We really good folk, and look how they treating us. Literally killing us, man. Slowly though, and then developing ailments that haven't been around, shingles haven't been around since the 40s, 50s. What's going on here? Don't make sense. Example, went to the walk in and said my arm hurts. They said it's a sinus infection. Everything is a damn it sinus infection. Here's a pill and keep me to the curb. Yo, sad world. They definitely kicked you to the curb. Here's a pill. You'll come back because you're gonna have to raise the milligrams because your body conditions itself as it should. Lowers my blood pressure and takes the pain away. The feds came in and took the CBD out PA. Fucking funny. Funny. You know what I mean, Nene, right? Yeah. Happy early birthday, girl. Have a great one. Happy early birthday, Jay. I'll be here, so hopefully, your born day, But enjoy that day, guys. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy it as much as you can. And that's what I want to bring is like enjoy life, man. There's something about being grown when we all know these factors, but we continue to smile and push forward and do our thing. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, man, it's like, I think that was Shalom. I got you, Shalom. Thank you, thank you. Wallah. Nene, sorry about your pains. And yes, we definitely host. But yeah, I don't think that's bugged out. That if they remember I said in 2000, I did a speech because I was trying to be loyal. Whatever. I did a speech, whatever. I did a whatever my homework, right? And it was on speech, right? No, that was the class, but it was on legalization of marijuana, man. And it was like you had to do pros and cons. And I didn't even know reading into books that the pros were like, seizures and it helped people with cancer and AIDS. It lowered blood pressure. It built appetite. Um, it takes away pain, and then you got indicas and sativas, one's mind, one's body. So it's a beautiful thing, that plant. And I think it's what's even wilder is our ancestors knew it. That's why they were smoking it back then. They just now, made that plant an evil thing, just like in the 40s or like the shit was sick, right? Like everything was groovy, but it's until people started doing it in public more, they were like, nope, we out of here. Then they try to make it like it was the gateway. So as soon as you smoked the L, you went straight to crack and heroin. Get out of here, man. You crazy Gemini. We're still spinning. I haven't celebrated my B day. Damn, 12 years. I'm in Covington now. That's what's up. That's what's up. Taking that drive, man. Have a great one, Jay. You have an amazing birthday. Word, man. For real, man. Mine just passed, so enjoy yours, right? You know, that's another thing is like if you could take joking, if you could take, if you could take, hey, it's my birthday, da da da, da, you could also give that energy, right? You know, OFC if it is illegal, you can't eat properly off of it, and people would stop smoke. That's wow. That's a fact, man. And it's just weird, man. Cocaine was in soda until I forgot the story with that one. And they used to use heroin in the dentist. So they knew a lot of these things were like, medically, if given right, like obviously moderation with everything. They used to have heroin dens in the like, 18, 19, 8, so whatever hundreds, you know what I'm saying? One of my favorite TV shows was called Taboo. um what's my man's name, man? He's a great actor, but Taboo was a great show. It was about a lot of the weird trades and treaties being signed over the tea trading, and there's a lot of cutthroats going on. But you know during the wigs, the white wig era. But Taboo, man, great show, man. How old is he going to be? Oh, my son is March 30th. Oh, shout out to March 30, man. He was just it's that. still Pisces? Did that still make the line? I forgot. Because some of these months is like 2 weeks, and then the next creature, Aquarius or whatever's next. Right, JQ? What JQ said? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. You right, you right. But yeah, man, there's a lot going on. Like I said, I appreciate everybody. I'm doing 70 minutes on them. Thank you, everybody. It's a Sunday fun day. Um, oh, I gotta stay another 5, man. What up, Christy? What up, ma? How's everyone today? Great, man. We had almost like a female. It's ladies' night, and dun, dun. But shout out to everybody, man. That's why, like I say, man, I think I cheer on. What up, Mike? What's popping? Ain't caught the live in a minute. I know, Mike. How you been, man? I hope all is well, Mike. I know he's precious, sweetheart. That's a fact, man. You know. Shout out to the moms, man. Shout out to the mothers out there. Hell yeah, I love to hear it. That's what's up, Christine. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, we had great dialogue today, man. We were talking about just various things. Amazing. Go check out the replay, but you know, I'll tell y'all a little bit. We were talking about food and how bad it's been, taxes, and just a lot of stuff, the coronavirus, working these wild hours and not getting paid for it, But great dialogue today. Can't complain. Got back from the park, kayaking, biking. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, Bob, stay healthy, man. Always wanted to do kayaking, man. And it's a beautiful thing, man. I don't know if it's true, but the way you guys get in the water is like you literally dump and then flip like, right, let's go. We out of here. But shout out to kayaking, man. What a beautiful journey, man. Gorgeous. And you're literally right there. Like your kayak to the water, you can see creatures. Woo! Amazing. Were you just heading out? Nah, yeah, I was, but I'm still here, Christy. Don't worry. I'll watch the replay. Have a great day, everyone. Nah, Christy, I'm gonna do another 5 on them, man. I'm still here. You just got in, let the girls girls be women, you know. Yeah, it's a blast, man, out in Bama. Yeah, we got Gators too. So you definitely wow, beautiful, 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 man. Congrats, man. I appreciate that. Like I love, you gotta enjoy life, everybody. You know that? Like, as much as the madness is and you also have to do your due diligence and take it upon yourself to enjoy it, because there are beautiful things in America, beautiful sceneries, beautiful air, beautiful people. It's just that they trying to really make the stereotype or, you know, America just like, we're just bitter, angry, rich, throwing money everywhere people. But yeah, we good folk, man. All about the beautiful little moments. That's the fact. That's a fact. You know, and those always matter to me, man. Those moments that you feel genuinely, What up, Aka? How you doing? Hope everything good. But yeah, man, it's a great one, man. It's great, it's cool. And I like that, like I say, man. I know, who doesn't wish they were 20 and I was doing this, but this is where I'm at now. This is where, they wanted me, to be. So at 44, this is where I'm at, and I'm gonna continue to do this, man. And I'm not, you know, maintaining I need to be monetized and shit. I'm just doing this to like, I'm meeting great people. Um, you know, it keeps me in a consistent. I love structure, so I need something to do while unemployed. I do admit that, yeah. But right now is a great time to, just be alive for real. Like on a weird, spectacle, but it is. I love the moments my little boys laugh and it sounds so cute, and they lay their heads on me. It really melts my heart. Yes, we are, and then it brings that satisfaction, right? It's like that moment makes that work week, right? A little bit sustainable, right? As you come to that, like, you know what? Thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. But you get to that point where it's like everything's worth it. And that's how we used to be, man. That's how parents used to be. They used to look at us with love, man. Not as your burden, not as you my dream. I had to put my dream aside for you. We shouldn't be like that or do that, man. because I know sex is fun and everything, but when you have sex, you procreate, things can be made, so be careful, you know. I know, right? When I love when they little creatures, man. Shout out to my grandkids right now. I like the when what I mean. And then that smell of baby is like, yo, I don't know, man, what's inside y'all female's body, but the baby come out smelling like, ooh, get over here, buddy. Oh, JQ, later, man. Going back to work. Nice convo, everyone. Bless Zay. Yo, JQ, have a great day, man. Y'all stay up and yo, thank you, man. Hearts up for you, man. You got me, man. You're a good one. You're a good soul, man. Stay like you and never change, man. Thanks for the sub. Thanks for the like. Thanks for your support and your time. Have a great day. I hope time flies so you get out of there, man. Salute. Have a great one, man. Peace. Yeah, JQ was one of the ones, man. Yeah, that's my son, man. Big man he is, man. Big man he is. 20, man. Going on 21. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Yeah, JQ, one of the ones, man. Looks like you. He does, right? Bugged out, man. I think that's what bothered the moms a little bit. But yeah, man, he looks like Zay, man. And he talks. When you don't realize it, like when you hear them, sometimes you're like, oh my God, he sounds like right, like the voice and stuff. So it bugs me out just listening to him. He sounds exactly like me, and he's just smart. And besides the handsome and whatever, but the smart, I'm so glad he has his head on his shoulders, right? You don't know where they could just, choose a wrong path, man, because you're not there all the time. You know what I'm saying? And especially certain dynamics, the dad isn't there a lot more than he wants to be. But I'm a good-hearted person, man. He knows I love him to death, man. And daddy has to do things for daddy to make daddy good, because I can't, you know. New York is too much chaos to align yourself with what needs to be done, you know? Sometimes you could chase paper and then wake up, blink, and you're fucking 40 something. You're like, holy shit. I got a couple of thousand saved. I had an apartment, like everything just goes, just surviving and living. It's just, you know, it's bugged out, man. But you gotta survive, you gotta stay strong, and you gotta deal with what, God puts in front of you, you know? He doesn't do it for no reason. He does it to teach you. It looks like you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy and cool. Thank you, ladies. I know it's hard for boys and girls to not have their dad, man. Yeah. And then it hurt me even more because I didn't have one. So when you approach women like, yo, I never had one, and then they do that, it's like, yo, I just told you, you know, and look how it affected me. I'm a weirdo, crazy dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, I'm always grateful for my stepdad. That's why I call him my dad. But you still want to have met your real one, right? Like, I'm not that. And then you play with yourself. Was it me? Was I a bad like? Because I had stepbrothers and stepsisters. He stayed with them, but you know what I mean. It is what it is, man. But on top of that, I'm always going to be in my son's corner. If he ever wanted to come here, visit me, or even stay, like we'll try to figure out. You know what I'm saying? There's always a workout plan for him. You know what I mean? There's always a solution for my dude. But shout out to you, Juju. I love you to death, bye. But yeah, man, it's a great one. It's great. Like I always say, man, is life is great, man. You can't call it sometimes, you know what I mean? You could plan, but you can't call it, you know? But it maneuvers how it maneuvers, and it's up to the person to stay consistent in what you think is right and what you think is wrong. And I think we have a blurry line in that field now. We don't like we should know what right is. You see that lady with a bag of groceries? If she help her to the car, man, you know, it's okay. And don't think she's gonna give you money or anything for it. You know what I mean? Just do it out of just we used to have this thing, man, that bumped. Besides pumping blood and shit, we that thing. That's what's up, Justin. I appreciate you, pa. Yeah, yeah. I was like and yo, my nose, man, my nose was like regular, man. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, you grow up and you learn, man. You gotta like, you gotta see life for what it is, man. Not everybody is granted a easy path, right? So You got to just work with what you got. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot. Look, there's no. I don't think I think the lower generation. That's great, Nene, and that's why you know you gotta listen to. You gotta like. You know what I'm saying? There's so much resentment and so much emotional attachment to the hate of the pops that they can't ever build. You know what I'm saying? A lot of fathers wait for the 17, 18 mark so the kid could be free. You know what I'm saying? Because kids don't understand. A lot of mothers, got them on fucking what's that called? Restraining orders. So you go next to the kid. I love you, pa. You get arrested. It's like, yo, it's not worth it, man. But yeah, man, you gotta build your own, man. Not everybody's here to hold your hand in life, man. See, yes, I did bad things and made mistakes. That's real. But I always had a good heart and wanted the best for others, even living in my bad in the bad areas. That's a fact. You know, I think that's what's the true testament in life is when you're 40 something, are you gonna act like me? Are you gonna be this strong throughout everything that you dealt with? You understand me? I think a lot of kids nowadays, they set up excuses to, move forward. We didn't have those. You know what I mean? We had to learn from our mistakes. We had to go through here. You know what I'm saying? And I love your 20s. You're young, man. You're going through it, da, da, da. But then when you a dad in your 20s, it's like you shoulda knew, nigga. Like it's like I don't understand it, man. And being homeless and a dad, I think is one of the most difficultest things you could do in life, man. It's one of the most difficultest things. If I have anybody out there, man, if your son becomes a dad, please don't kick him out because it is super hard. It's super hard to be a pops at and then try to live for you. Like motherfuckers really wanted me to die, and and then be like, there you go, like you know what I mean? And that's what's up, Justin. That's what's up, Yeah, man. Some people, exactly, sweetheart. Some people don't understand that, man. You know, you definitely, a lot of the older folk, we went through so many, we literally went through shit so you guys can have an easier platform, right? We went through hell, okay? We coming from 725 an hour and cribs was still 14, 15, two bands. Your insurance was kind of cool to maybe 200, 300 for a Honda, and then whatever 200 or so 500 right there. So you got like two bands just with the crib, and you talking 725 an hour, nigga. You know how many hours you got to work just to get $100? Make it make sense, everybody. Please make it make sense. That's a fact, Nene. I couldn't, I couldn't find this person. You know what I mean? Energy came towards me, man. And it's a beautiful thing, man. I know. And that's the thing, man. You can't just be like you can't just be, yo, motherfucker went through this is how this is no, like you gotta have this asterisk next to you. Like, no, motherfucker, you can't judge me for what you think you know. I know what it was, man. And don't talk to me. Talk to my ex-girlfriends, man. They'll let you know how complete package the baby. You know what I'm saying? How it was. You know what I mean? Y'all seen how it acted here, so it is what it is, man. I know, sweetheart. 20, like, and we need you to stay you, sweetheart, because life tends to get a little bit more wackier when you get towards the 40s, 50s. So and by then your kids will be grown. So continue your path and do what needs to be done. And obviously you're doing a great job at it. So I don't even have to, just do you, man. But yeah, stay alive, stay working, and stay focused. I think focus is being one of the biggest things, because this world promotes distraction like no other. No other place on this planet promotes distraction more than America does. I tell you that off the hand. Been in PR, been over here, yo. They try to distract you, yo, between movies, games, music, fucking, you know what I mean? You wonder why 2026, you know how many cool movies they dropping? Spider-Man, Mortal Kombat 2, Masters of the Universe, Odyssey, um, so many freaking movies, man. These girls are busting it open, you heard? Thank you so much, sweetheart. And I think I think my wife is the testament of who I was, right? So you can have all this, he wasn't da 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 da, but I think my wife is exactly where I'm supposed to be, right? Because a lot of people wanted me to end broke, still with the moms, fucks, you know what I mean? Like for real, man. New York is hateful, man. I had to get out of New York. I had to leave that hate. I was getting hate from all avenues, man. I had to let it go, man. I had a few friends that cheered me on, few family that cheered me on, but most of the temperature was just like fake pretending shit. Like, yeah, 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 we want you to be good, man. But hold on, I gotta kick you out, so you gotta live in the streets and figure it out though. It's like, nah, man, you ain't gonna do me like that and then expect me to, you know, help you out later. Nobody helped me, right? One of those. Nobody helped me. Everything I own, bought. I know the narrative could be what it is, but it is what it is, man. Nene, sadly, that's true. And some friends of mine do that. And I said, please stop doing this. Go to school, get a trade. Yeah, so you can make money, get benefits. They don't listen to me. Doing the right thing. I don't see much of these. Yup. And yo, that's why it's the path they got to be on to succeed, right? Yes, you leave the support system, but people got to choose. It's a blessing that you're 25, 33. You know what I mean? It's a blessing, man, because it's very easily you could, and yo, you won't even do it on purpose. Motherfucker sprain his ankle at work. Doctor give you 5 milligram Percocets, and then you on it for a year, then he chop you to 90, then you start feeling funny. He chop you to 60, then you like, I gotta buy these bananas in the street now, man. I don't know. I'm still in pain, not knowing that when you take a Percocet, it relieves your pain, but then when you're not on it, all the other pains you never thought you had, it comes out. All pain comes out basically, because your brain is telling you like this chemical is meant whatever, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, exactly. You're not going to be young and pretty forever. That's a fact, man. And if and it's not like, yo, it's not like you're giving up. You just, you playing your role. You understand that, like, look, you know, in the beginning of life, you have your beauty, and you use them how you use them, but you got to use them, positively. Like you said, these girls busting it open on the gram or OnlyFans, they're gonna find out the hard way when that shit slows down that that wasn't a career, that wasn't a gig, that was just a moment, right? But shout out to the women that are making thousands and millions off of it. It bugs me out. But money's money, man. Money make the world go round, right? They didn't even have bad lives. They have parents with money, and I don't get it, but I don't want to judge. But they said, little me, tell me you're 28, you need to party with us, but I don't want. Yo, and that's the devil working overtime, because I went to Bishop Ford High School, which was a Catholic high school, and renounced to me, or beyond my knowledge, I didn't know that those kids were going to be good regardless of what they did in school at that moment. Those same kids were joking, playing, and I'm at school busting my ass. They're cutting classes, they're going to the parties, they're doing all this cool shit, and I'm busting my ass. And then come find out that it's not it's not what you know, it's who you know, man. They just knew that, I'm gonna be good. My dad owns the restaurant. Where I gotta go, Meanwhile, you got people busting their ass because people kids don't understand that uh high school was your college back then. Because after high school you could have got a great job, but high school was very serious on us, man. Very serious on us, man. They used to you used to get left back if you didn't know how to read. They passing these kids now. It's different times, man. Dope because it's cheaper. Yeah, that's exactly how the path goes, man. And that's exactly how the path they knew it would go with the opiate crisis. Why do you think they call it an opiate crisis? How come every doctor was pumping them shits on every corner? You could have went to any fucking pain management, any doctor, and been like, "Yo, doc, I think my back hurt, man." And he'll go from 1 to 10. What does it feel like? Ah, doc, it's like a 9, 10. All right, there you go. 150 Percocets. And they weren't, yo, I knew girls that were getting Roxy's, Oxys or some shit. I was like, how you getting, you know what I'm saying? My body only developed up to I was doing the blues a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But once I saw it going towards like, my sums was getting crazy, it was affecting rent and shit like that. I was like, nope, I gotta go to Florida to get clean, man. Pharmaceutical companies wanted that bread for real, man. They didn't want that slow money anymore. Because remember, back in my days, they always had a pharmacy in your neighborhood, and you would go to it, and only old people was in it. That's all who needed that at the time were old people. You might have went there to get alcohol, band-aids, or certain products, but you was not going to the pharmacy section. Now you go to fucking Walgreens or something, and the line is packed with just young folk. What ailments are you going through already? It's bad, man. Don't fall asleep, man. I thought you were going to the zoo, man. Pill for a damn eyelash curtain. That's a fact. But yo, I appreciate everybody. Thank you for rocking with the kid, liking, sub and like. Everybody have a great day. Later, y'all. Bye. Peace, man. I just saw the time, man. Um, yeah, have a great day, man. Like and sub. Thank you. Have a great one, everybody. Peace. Have a great one, Nene, sweetheart, Jason, Justin, wife, everybody, man. Stay up, enjoy life, man. And yeah, it's $8, $8 random. Peace.